everyone. I'm here with my friend Ree, who is a psychotherapist of 20 years. I am going to go and get the SGB DSR shots very shortly. This lovely, amazing woman is taking me there and picking me up, and so just wanted to talk a little bit about how I have been before the shots and how I came to sort of decide to get the shots. What life is like before the shots, I guess. Yeah. So Ree's going to help me kind of by just asking me a few questions and stuff, just to sort of put it into perspective.
So T, when did you first really hit sort of a bottom with your depression, anxiety, your PTSD? When did you sort of really hit a very big low?
Well, I've suffered with depression since I was 10, and it's compounded, but the last sort of biggest breakdown I've had was 4 years ago, just under 4 years ago. And since then it's affected my functioning and my mental health and just life in general.
Can you tell me a couple ways that it affects your functioning in your day-to-day life?
I just don't have any enthusiasm or motivation to do anything like cleaning my house. I'm in avoidance mode. I avoid life by obsessing over one thing. So at the moment it's YouTube, and so I'm neglecting my parenting. Neglecting myself. There's no self-care. I actually had my therapist a couple of years ago said, "What makes you happy?" And I couldn't answer that.
Wow.
Executive dysfunction, so I forget things like brushing my teeth. What else? It can be embarrassing, not showering as much as I used to. Not just, like I say, self-care, but mental self-care. I'm not exercising. I'm not eating properly. I'm eating terribly. Comfort food. I'm emotionally eating. Struggling with, not reading emails and doing stuff that I should be doing for my son's school. And participating in. I don't go out and socialise.
So is isolation part of your
big time
world? Which is very common when people hit this very large low, isn't it?
So I used to be very active. I'd be taking him out every weekend. We'd go on road trips, we'd go on holidays, we'd go to the beach, I'd try and get him into sports and our extracurricular activities and stuff like that. And and I've just sort of given up. Given up on everything, really.
That's understandable. It's unfortunately when we're neglecting those things, it makes the cycle sort of get deeper and it's a spiral down. So it's very understandable. Can you tell me a bit about how you first learned about the sympathetic reset?
It was actually for you.
Oh, was it?
I think it was. Okay. Was it? I think it was through you. I'd heard stuff in the community, going around, and I watched your videos, and that's when I reached out to you. That's when our friendship started. I think we'd had a few messages back and forth, and then didn't really chat for a while, and then I can't remember how we connected properly.
No, I can't either.
But we just did.
Yes, we did.
And then that was that. And then we've gone protesting together and stuff like that. See, I seem to have the motivation for protesting, but that's the avoidance. I'm throwing my people pleasing and throwing myself into something. Not saying that I don't want to do it genuinely. I do. But I'm not doing all the other stuff. But I don't know if that's I've also been a massive nail biter. Skin picker. There's that side of it. I don't know, I'm just trying to think of all the other symptoms of stuff.
And that's quite common in children that have been abused, that have experienced great trauma in their life. They do sort of it's like a form of self-mutilating, and it's very, very common, the picking. It's not commonly spoken about, though, so it's great that you're aware of that.
I mean, I'm doing it now while I'm talking. I'm picking the skin off my finger, it's like a I don't know.
And hopefully with the shots, when your system is leveled out a bit, you can gently maybe stroke the skin rather than attack the skin, because it takes time to change those behaviours. But when our alarms are really highly activated before the shots, doing those things feels like being pressured to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah.
It's not
Overwhelming is a massive thing actually as well. You just made me go ding. Is everything's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that I want to like fix about myself and my life, and that I don't do anything, and that's why I shut down and I do the other stuff, because do you know what I mean? And it's
I think for me, I've had the shots, as you know, and I think brain fog leaving me very rapidly was a massive advantage. And this gentleness that came back to me, I had it years earlier before my mental breakdown, but it came back, and I wasn't as critical on myself. And when the criticism came up, it's like, look what you're doing, it's good, like you and I could settle myself back down, whereas prior to the shots, nothing settled me, and everything was a band-aid.
Yeah, from this last breakdown, I used to be very calm and patient, especially with my son, with everyone. And I remember like my best friend at the time saying, God, I really admire that about you. You've taught me how to be patient with my children. You've made me see like they're just little people with big feelings, you know? And that's something I used to say. And now it's like all of that's disappeared, and I'm on edge all the time. And the physical effect of this is I'm now in pain all the time. If I have a cleaning business. I used to have a lot more clients. I've dropped about 70% of my clients. I'm in pain after a day of work, and I'm constantly having to remind myself to put my shoulders down. I'm like this all the time, and I've been getting my tight chest. I feel like I need to crack it all. You know,
you've reminded me, after my shots, I actually felt like my shoulders dropped
I remember you saying, and I'm wanting to feel that.
And it was such a weird, like to have a medical procedure and feel like a backpack of rocks had been taken off my back was an incredible experience.
How can we sort of summarize what the shots actually do? So they reset the nervous system.
That's right. So when we're in fight and flight, our amygdala, which is inside our brain, sets off all these chemicals that go down to these stems into our neck, called the stellar ganglion system, and the injections go into that area on the neck in 2 spots on the right side, and then tomorrow you'll have 2 spots on the left side done, and it numbs that spot for about 6 hours. Your voice might get a bit horsey, but as soon as the numbing goes in, it's like they talk about it like a computer reboot, that you turn off the computer to reset the computer, and it resets this amygdala system that's been in a loop as if it's got no brake and it's only on the accelerator. It resets it so that you can go like this.
And I'm only going halfway when I do that. I can feel it almost getting stuck physically. So, and I've made myself bleed picking. And I do seem like I'm happy on the camera and everything like that, but it's been, I'll be honest, it's been exhausting talking with you today, because we've been chatting all morning. And I'm already tired, but it's taking a lot out of me. I've cried. I'm holding back tears now. Might not look like it, you know, but we hide things well. And what was my point of that? See, there's the brain fog is a massive thing. I'm unable to sit and read a book now. And I used to be an avid reader when I was younger. That's one of the things. I'm just trying to think of all the things that.
So when I got the shots, one of the most incredible things that occurred, was that in my breakdown, I almost felt like I had become brain damaged because I couldn't keep
Well,
a
it is, yeah.
sentence in congruent.
Yeah, congruency?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
something
couldn't.
like that.
I just couldn't keep the thing. And then after the shots, I could get interrupted, and I could still remember what I was
Yes,
going to be
yeah.
saying. And I'm like,
And that is where, right, and this is what I've discovered as well with this, because I do that. I'll be like, I'll forget what I'm saying while I'm saying it.
yes, yeah,
I was diagnosed with ADHD.
yeah,
Since treating this trauma and stuff like that, because I got medication and it made me more anxious. Since, learning about, thank you. It's made me. I've found a lot of tests and studies where adults, especially in their 40s and stuff like that, around that age where you're trying to fix yourself and you've been doing it for years and you've come to a head with therapy or just banging your head against a brick wall, is that a lot of people are being misdiagnosed with ADHD because the symptoms of trauma and the symptoms of ADHD can be very, very similar.
Very similar.
I've been told I'm autistic, have ADHD. I brought it up with my ADHD specialist. I said, like, what about trauma? And he said, well, I'm not trained. He was a very horrible, arrogant man. I don't see him anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not trained in trauma.
Yeah.
And I think there should be.
Oh, yes.
Because it's very, I think a lot of people it's being overdiagnosed in adults, I think, definitely. Because of trauma.
Oh,
and maybe children as well.
Yeah, for sure. It'd
Yeah.
be interesting to see studies on that. But I see it in work all the time.
Yeah.
That when people have their trauma treated, their wiring can calm down.
Yeah.
May not be for everyone, but it does help
That's
many.
why I stopped the medication. I
Yeah.
said, look, I think I need to look at this trauma, get a baseline. If the ADHD traits are still there, then I'll
deal with
try
it then.
something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we just want to say as well, I think an important point is to say that it's not like you get the shots and boom, you're fixed. That's a very important, because
That's
people
right.
think, get the shots and I'm going to be a new person and I'm going to be this back to like normal, whatever that is,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like a gradual process.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there's certain, for me, I did experience an incredible weight off my shoulders. My night terrors went away immediately, and they did not have not returned. But some of the psychological things that I picked up while I was in my mental breakdown, like putting myself down or feeling perpetually helpless, I still have to work on those areas, but it's not hard or tough anymore. It's sort of a bit exciting.
It's an ingrained thought process that
That's
you've had,
right.
putting yourself down and stuff. And it's like even sitting here now and I'm picking myself and that I'm thinking, I'm in constant anxiety. I'm like, shit, we've got to go in a minute. And I'm looking at the time on the thing and I'm like, fuck. And you're just sitting there chilled.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
like-
not thinking about we have to go, and yet we have to go soon.
We do, yeah. But you're not going, T, we need to fucking go.
No.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it. So one of the other things when you come out is that your face, you get Horner syndrome.
Yep.
So my face is going to go down like
One
this.
eye.
My
will
eye
drop.
will drop.
Yes.
So I am gonna document that. I'm gonna show you what I look like. Because I really, really want to get this out there that it can help people. I'm not saying, I'm not a medical professional, neither's Ree.
No.
Just sharing our experiences, as well as Miriam Francis. She's had a different effect to you.
Yeah.
She didn't get the instant kind of whoosh or
Yeah.
hers has been gradual over like I think a year ago.
A
she
year
had it?
now, yeah.
Yeah, and she's still getting benefits from it now. So every person is different. It's not a one size fits all, like magic
Yeah.
thing, magic shot,
That's right.
mustard shots, whatever, shot of mustard.
However, I
Yeah.
will say that I did 6 years of weekly or fortnightly psychotherapy during my mental breakdown, and that did not help me at all. I mean, it probably kept me alive, and I'm very grateful to my therapist.
Same.
However, the shots radically changed my life. Like, it's the most radical treatment I've ever had. I have been a professional for 20 years, but I've been in and out of therapy since I was 15, and this is the most exciting and liberating experience that has had, it's been since August, and it's April now, so it's 8 or 9 months now, and the long enduring effects. It's the most radical treatment I've ever experienced, that's given me an internal freedom that I thought was lost to me forever. I never dreamt that I'd return to feeling well again. And it's your turn, T. It's your turn, sweetheart.
Oh, I can't wait. Anyway, guys, I will do another video later.
Yep.
And lots of love to everyone. I'm getting emotional. So I'll see you later.
Bye.
Thanks, Ray. Bye.